Since it premiered in the United States on May 25, 1979, the Alien saga has become one of the most surprisingly enduring franchises in motion picture history. With only the first two entries in the ever-growing xenomorph phenomenon able to be called truly great, the Alien films have seen way more misses than hits. This is said with condolences to apologists for Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus and, if they even exist, the Alien vs Predator movies. So it's something of a head-scratcher that these flicks are still so beloved by audiences. But why? First and foremost is the unparalleled creature design. It's been mentioned ad nauseum since the creature first appeared, but remains saying again, the late genius who was H.R. Giger tapped into something truly primordial and terrifying with his alien designs. It is the most beautiful and unnerving monster in celluloid history. As such, even a terrible alien movie is still worth seeing just to witness the majesty of the creature, although this point is somewhat invalidated by the dodgy CGI beasties that are prominent in Alien Covenant, but that is a complaint for another day. The appeal of these films can also be attributed to Sigourney Weaver's consistently excellent performance as Ripley. Even in Alien Resurrection, where she plays a clone of her iconic character, she delivers a ferocious and courageous performance that you can't look away. When combined with the directorial mastery of a Ridley Scott or James Cameron, her on-screen magic becomes something unforgettable. So much so that the subsequent pictures can coast along on the strength of their excellent predecessors without bringing any new innovations to the table. And no, sexy shower kill scenes and useless alien POV shots are not innovations, despite what 2017's Scott would have you believe. With all this said, 20th Century Fox's marketing department still has to sell these movies to get butts into seats. And merchandisers hoping to cash in on the goodwill generated by the Alien name need to figure out how to use the license to best maximize sales. Which is where this very article comes in. From the cool to the curious to the utterly baffling, let's look at the most memorable examples of Alien marketing and advertising. The original Alien movie trailer. Completely lacking dialogue and featuring a deeply unsettling sound design, this original trailer is all about creating mood. And that mood is this: Alien is a movie that will absolutely fuck your shit up. Nearly 40 years later, and this is still as nightmare-inducing as it was when it first hit unsuspecting moviegoers like a brick across the forehead. Alien TV spot. Imagine watching commercials in 1979 and seeing this visual barrage of WTF while waiting for Three's Company to come back on. Yikes. Alien radio spots. Without the luxury of being able to share the film's compelling imagery, the above radio spots relied solely on sound effects, music and a grimly detached voiceover to sell the flick. It works, creating an aural landscape that more than reflects the movie's foreboding atmosphere. Alien UK radio adverts. For good measure, here are some UK radio spots for the film's initial exclusive engagement at the Odeon Leicester Theatre back in 1979. Vintage Alien interview. Despite having some troublesome AV issues, this vintage 23-minute interview from 1979 in which Sigourney Weaver, Ridley Scott, Tom Skerritt and H.R. Giger talk up the film is full of interesting insights about Alien. Giger's Alien. Alien diehards speak about the above documentary, taken here from a 1979 TV broadcast, with a hushed reverence, as it provides an all-access guide into the dark and compelling world of H.R. Giger. For a look inside the creative process of the late visionary, the doc is invaluable stuff. Alien action figure ad. For last year's Alien Day, I wrote an in-depth piece about Alien merchandise that delves into the long, complicated, and frankly, awesome, history of products based on the franchise. Despite having covering the above item, Kenner's legendary 18-inch action figure of the Big Chap, in that piece, I present it again here because no matter how many times I watch this, I find it impossible to believe that execs at the company felt this was an acceptable thing to try to sell to Star Wars-loving kids. Kenner Alien movie viewer. Also released by Kenner is the joyously named Alien Terror Movie Viewer, a hand-cranked camera toy that showed the above footage from the film. Jesus. Alien Atari 2600 game. Another head-scratcher is 20th Century Fox's Alien game. A shameless ripoff of Pac-Man, the dots are supposed to be xenomorph eggs, natch. This game is surprisingly fun. And the fact that this somewhat obscure title actually exists is rather cool when you think about it. Alien's original teaser trailer. Drawing inspiration from the original Alien marketing campaign, the original teaser for Aliens relies solely on fast coup.